Yes, we are going to be taking your calls on Chelsea in just a second. 03717 223344. What do you think? What do you think when you look at the Chelsea side now? What would excite you if you were an Englishman looking ahead to the World Cup? Would it be the fact that he's getting a tune out of players like Mason Mount, or the fact he's playing, what was it, Chalobah, Mount, Sterling, Loftus-Cheek, Chilwell, and Conor Gallagher came on as well at the weekend? Do you think he's got that in his mind, Graham Potter, to start playing more Englishmen or not?
No, I just think they're not letting him down. But he's obviously getting a tune out of them. They're playing really, really well. Of course, the best one out of the lot, unfortunately, looks like he's going to be out for some time, which is Reece James. But
that's terrible, that is.
Terrible.
That when I read that, I mean, you wait so long for a World Cup.
Yeah.
They come every 4 years. You don't have that many opportunities to be first choice or guaranteed some kind of inclusion in that competition.
And he is playing at the top of his game as well, Reece James, playing really well. But no, what Graham Potter's doing there, you'd have to say, with the Chelsea players in the English contingent is fantastic, and it bodes well for England. But all he can do is get the players playing well, playing to his system, and I still think there's more to come. Because if you watched the game against Villa yesterday, you'd have to say they weren't at their best. Obviously, the goalkeeper mistake.
No, they weren't at their best.
But they still got the result. And Kepa had to be inspired. But then, at the end of the day, that's what your goalkeeper's in there for, to make saves. But again, it's another clean sheet, another victory. They're flying.
Does it matter when you're part of a team that keep winning but not winning pretty? So, for argument's sake, we've had that conversation about Spurs, haven't we? When you've looked at Spurs and you've thought they're not necessarily playing great football, but they're still getting the right results. Chelsea, you mentioned a good point. You mentioned against Aston Villa, it wasn't a great performance, but Villa were quite poor, and they made. You mentioned Mings at the back, making mistakes, which allows you effectively to get those 3 points. Does that matter when you come off the field of play? Are you thinking how you won the game, or the fact you got 3 points?
Yeah, I think the manager will be he'll be very, very happy about. He'll be very, very happy at first that, all right, we've got over the line. Our goalkeeper's been in great form, but we've got the 3 points. But then as the week kind of progresses into their next game, that's when he'll start to kind of go, right, where did we go wrong? Because against better opposition, because Villa are struggling at the minute, you get punished with some of them opportunities. But he'll be thinking, right, we've got the 3 points, right, let's go and move to the next one. Let's see what we could be better. But again, for Graham Potter, what he's done since he's been at Chelsea has been first class.
Well, so they've, on the back of his reign there, there've been 6 unbeaten, 5 wins, because obviously the first one was a draw, and 4 clean sheets. Can you notice as a Chelsea fan, and Chelsea fans can phone up and say yay or nay on that one, 03717 223344, can you notice the difference, do you think, when you watch them play? Like a massive difference, Chelsea now under Thomas, compared to when they were under Thomas Tuchel or not?
Yeah, you can see the way that he wants to play is different to Thomas Tuchel. It does remind me a little bit of Thomas Tuchel, the early part when he first came in, the defensive solidness that they had. Didn't leak many goals when Thomas Tuchel first came in. Graham Potter's getting the same thing. But even just the way that they're moving forward, the little interactions, do you know what I mean? How vital, again, when Thomas Tuchel came in, one of the things which stood out to me was how vital the fullbacks were in Chilwell and Reece James.
Huge.
Massive. Now all of a sudden you can see again with this Chelsea team, I know again, devastating news about Reece James, but how much him and Ben Chilwell are going to impact this team. So loads of different things that if you're a Chelsea fan right now looking what they're doing under Graham Potter, you'd be very happy. I still don't think they've hit top form, but you can see that it's coming, it's bubbling away.
I don't think Chelsea can win the league.
Why not?
I don't know. I think it's a big ask for someone like Graham Potter. I think when you would know more than I would, but when you get to the end of a season and it becomes a little bit nip and tuck, I think you need a manager with experience who knows what it's like to pick the right team under pressure, make the right in-game decisions.
No, but you say that, but then what's called did it? Ranieri did it, and he's never won the league. But at Leicester, he managed to find a way, pick the right team at the right time to win the league.
Let's speak to Vernon. He's a Chelsea fan. Hello, Vernon.
Hi, Andy. All right, Darren?
Hi there, mate. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. I think the main difference I've noticed since Tuchel left and Graham Potter came in is that the players are a lot happier. Because even on the Chelsea app, you can watch them in training, and you can just see that, I don't know, there's something in the air there that's there's just a lighter air about it all. I just think Graham Potter's more laid back. I think Tuchel was very intense. At the end, it was a bit, I don't know, what's the word? And the players seemed a bit scared of him. They were scared to let their hair down and try something. You know what I'm trying to say? He was too strict with them, I think, Tuchel in the end. And I think they were just, in the end, there was paralysis by analysis. You know what I'm saying? It was like they weren't free-flowing.
Do you know what it was as well, Vern? I think when as results started to get a bit worse for Thomas Tuchel, he started to chip away a little bit at some of his players, kind of criticise them publicly, and then he's obviously weren't happy with the media, some of the questions they were asking him, and I think in the end it just imploded. And as players, when your manager started to lose his rag a little bit and started to come unstuck a little bit, you could sense it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the former Mason Mount, he was looking pretty desperate, actually, under Tuchel. I thought, God almighty, the wheels have really fallen off. I thought it was another Dele Alli job for a minute. I thought, come on, this can't be happening. But then all of a sudden, he's coming back to his very best now.
Can you win the league, Vern?
We can win the league, but we won't win the league, Andy, because City are going to win it by about 10 points, probably. And because over 38 games, I just think they're just too good for everybody at the moment, I'm afraid.
Vern, thanks for that. Can City not win the league?
Oh, yeah, of course they cannot win the league.
Can they? Because every conversation you have, will City going to win the league?
There's a chance they cannot win the league, of course.
Would it be one of the greatest upsets ever if they didn't?
No. Not greatest upsets ever, come on.
No,
the greatest upset ever is Leicester.
No. To not win it. One of the most fancied teams in the history of the Premier League to not win it. With arguably the best
I would say it's a massive shock. There are some good teams in the Premier League.
City don't win the league
You
this season.
You think that'd be the biggest shock in Premier League history?
I think it would be the biggest shock of a team favourite to win it that didn't. I can't think of another odds-on favourite to win the Premier League when everyone else is a little bit like them. Like Chelsea at the moment, transitional.
Arsenal playing well though, stepped up.
Yeah, but you just
Spurs are playing well under Conte.
But the Spurs aren't playing well. That's the thing, though. They're getting results.
But that's what it's about, getting results.
I think it'd be the biggest upset for an odds-on team to not win the Premier League ever.
Wow, I don't know about
that.
I don't know about that.
I really do. Because especially as Liverpool aren't knocking on the door. If Liverpool and Nippons up, I get it. But at the moment, Liverpool aren't there.
No, but there are other teams that are up there playing really well.
I'll be stunned. I'll be absolutely stunned.